Jacksonville, Florida, epic recording artist, Molly Hatchet.
What's up, everybody? This is Scott from LeftMiddle.com. Tripping over my own words. And this is going to be another band discography. I'm going to be showing my Molly Hatchet vinyl collection and a few CDs. There's a few albums that either haven't been released on vinyl or I just don't have on vinyl that I'm going to show on CD, but mostly on my vinyl collection. So I'm going to get right to it. Molly Hatchet from Jacksonville, Florida, formed in 1975. Didn't release their first album until 1978. They were originally supposed to record with Ronnie Van Zant from Lynyrd Skynyrd, and of course the plane crash that happened with Skynyrd, he passed away, and that didn't happen. So they finally recorded their first album for Epic Records, released in 1978, self-titled Molly Hatchet. Classic album, classic cover, Frank Frazetta artwork, The Death Dealer. And this album is just pure Southern rock. A little heavier, a little more upbeat than, say, you know, your Allman Brothers or Marshall Tucker Band or even Lynyrd Skynyrd. But it's not quite as heavy as they would get on follow-up albums. But still, a great album. I remember I was a kid when I discovered this album. I think I bought it on cassette because I remember walking around listening to it on my boombox. Me and my buddy Rick just walking around listening to Molly Hatchet over and over and over again. And there's not a bad song on this one. I mean, you got Bounty Hunter, Gator Country, Big Apple, The Creeper, Dreams I'll Never See, Cheating Woman. Dreams I'll Never See is actually an Allman Brothers cover. Supercharged. It's Allman Brothers on steroids. Love Molly Hatchet cover that song. And yeah, first album, 1978, Epic Records. I think it was Tom Werman. Yeah, Tom Werman, who had worked with Ted Nugent and Cheap Trick, produced this album. And here's another copy of that one. This is a radio promo copy. As you can see, there's the gold promo stamp, the white label, and then there's the radio playlist on the bottom. I actually bought this from a seller on, I think it was on either Discogs or eBay. I can't remember what it was. I think it was eBay. But what he listed and what it was two different things. What he listed was it was supposed to be a live album, which I thought was rather strange. They do have a bunch of promo live albums. This is not one. This is just a regular promo copy of the first album. So after I received it in the mail and saw what it was and played it, I contacted the seller and let him know. He basically gave my money back and told me to keep the album. So yeah, it's a cool collector's item that I got for free. Molly Hatchet. And as well, here's a radio promo single for Dreams I'll Never See. Cool picture sleeve.
How are you?
This one was only released to radio. And the follow-up album, which was probably still to this day is the most popular album, Flirting with Disaster. Another Frank Frazetta cover, another beefy warrior from the front cover, and yeah, 1979, and it contains the you know, their huge hit, which was Flirting with Disaster, the title track. Still played on FM radio a lot today. Yeah, not a bad song on it. Again, equal to, if not better than, the debut album. Definitely has a heavier feel, heavier guitar tones, just more bass, just generally has a better production than the first one. And I can't remember, but I believe this is produced by Tom Werman as well. And this is another copy that was bought for me by my wife. She purchased this from a DJ, a female DJ, and as you can see, it's autographed by band founder Dave Flubeck. Dave founded the band with Steve Holland in 1975, and the autograph says, to a honey of a woman, I'd love to spend some more time in depth with you. Thanks a million, Dave Flubeck. Nice toys. So I don't know what all that's about. I just thought that was really cool, really bizarre. Definitely a cool collector's item. You know it's for real because it came directly from the DJ who it was signed to. So my wife definitely knows what I like, and this is just a cool collector's item. Released that same year, 1979, the live box set. This is a little bit odd because it's called it's the same cover as the first album, but obviously it has a little live in the corner here. And it's also called the EPA Live Concert Series. There's actually 2 different Molly Hatchet records that are EPA Live Concert Series. There's this one, which is a box set. As you can see, it is a 3-record box set. It's got 2 live albums, white label promo. It contains 5 live songs on each one, both the same, all from the first album. And it has the lyrics Steve and the original Molly Hatchet debut album. As far as I know, this was only released to radio stations, was not sold in stores. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's the case. It says right in the back, demonstration not for sale. It is an official Epic release. It is not a bootleg. It does also say in the back, the special collector's item contains 2 copies of Molly Hatchet Live and 1 copy of Molly Hatchet. So, cool collector's item. The live album's great, sounds great. I played it before. Yeah, just something any Molly Hatchet fanatic should have in their collection. Highly recommended. EPA Live Concert Series. And oddly enough, there was actually a single release of that as well. Again, promo only. It's an odd one because it's backed up with Cheap Trick. Cheap Trick, I Know What I Want, and Dave Werner, What's Right, is on the B-side. Excuse me, allergies. And oddly enough, this is on a yellow, clear vinyl. But again, another cool collector's item. I think I picked this one up on eBay many, many years ago before vinyl became trendy and popular again. And that actually was the last album temporarily for vocalist Danny Joe Brown. And Danny Joe Brown definitely has a very signature sound, very, very masculine, very deep, very, I don't know, good boy. You know, he's the good old boys. You know, he just had that quality to him. But he was having issues with diabetes. He left the band, and Molly Hatchet continued on, and they formed. Well, they brought on a new vocalist, Jimmy Farrar, and they released Beating the Odds, another hugely popular album. The title cut was played on FM radio quite a bit. Don't really hear it much anymore. But yeah, still a great album, solid, just like the first 2. I love Jimmy Farrar's vocals. Very different from Jimmy Ray Brown, but it works. So it's got the Penthouse on it, the Rambler, of course, Double Talker, Beating the Odds, Poison Pen. It's a great record, and it did really well for him. And that album was followed up by almost there. There it goes. Take No Prisoners. And no longer Frank Frazetta cover, now we get a Boris cover. And I absolutely love this album. Saw the band twice on this tour, both times in Jackson, New Jersey at Six Flags Great Adventure at the stadium there. If I wasn't a fan before, I was a fanatic after seeing them. Bloody Reunion, Lady Luck, Power Play, Loss of Control, Dead Giveaway. This album, again, that's like the first 3, solid, front to back. I think it's even better than the last one, though. Lady Luck and Bloody Reunion are just catchy, super catchy songs. They're those songs, you know, you get them stuck in your brain and you can't stop singing them over and over and over again. I guess it could just be because I saw them live and you know, it just bedded into my brain. But classic album. Molly Hatchet, Take No Prisoners, 1981. Also released that in that time period was the other Molly Hatchet Live EPA concert series. Now this is a completely different concert than the box that I showed earlier. This is actually a live concert featuring Jimmy Farrar, and Jimmy is right there on vocals. 2 record sets. One record is the live album. The other record is Beating the Odds. Gatefold features the bio of the band and a photo of the band over here. Discography on the back, and again, this was only released to radio stations. But yeah, it's a great record. I love the live stuff. Molly Hatchet was definitely a live band. Great to see live. That triple guitar attack, they were just awesome. And during that time that Danny Joe Brown was gone, he recorded his own album, the Danny Joe Brown Band. And this is an important album in the Molly Hatchet collection. Not because it's just because it's Danny Joe Brown, but because the music here sounds like Molly Hatchet. And it features two members that would become integral parts of Molly Hatchet, and keyboardist John Galvin and guitarist what's his name? Bobby Ingram. Yeah, Bobby Ingram. Those two guys would become very important members of Molly Hatchet down the road. And then there was a song on here called what was it called? Edge of Sundown, which would become a Molly Hatchet staple live. Great song. This was basically Danny Joe Brown's Freebird, if you will. It just has that quality to it, or maybe even his Danny Joe Brown's Stairway to Heaven. Just had that quality to it. Great song. Good album. Anyhow, after the first two records, apparently the sales started to falter a little bit. The band blamed the new vocalist Jimmy Farrar. Not sure if they gave him the boot or he quit. Not sure how it went down. Doesn't really matter. What does matter is I need a drink. Cheers, VC. What does matter is Danny Joe Brown returned for No Guts, No Glory. First cover to not feature a futuristic or warrior on the front cover. And again, I saw the band twice on this tour, again at Jackson, New Jersey. So in the 2 years, I saw the band 4 times. And like I said, I was just a full-blown fanatic by this point. Love the band. Again, this album's solid. Beginning to end, not a bad song on it, but this album contains another signature track, Fall of the Peacemakers. Awesome song. Again, it's Molly Hatchet's Stairway to Heaven, or Molly Hatchet's Freebird. So that one, Edge of Sundown, both of them, either one of them could be, what I would call a signature song. But since this actually is Molly Hatchet, I would say this one is. So. And after that, here's a single. I forgot about this one. This single for the Rambler with Get Her Back on the B-side. This would have been, 83? And following that, Return of the Warrior on the front cover. However, the music, no longer the solid, heavy southern rock of the first 5 records. I'm not sure if it was the band or the record company or the producer or a combination of all of them, but the band took a turn towards a more pop rock sound, brought in some outside writers, I believe, recorded a few singles. Satisfied Man was a solid song from here, but again, it doesn't sound like that classic Molly Hatchet triple guitar attack. It's a little more pop rock oriented. Yeah, I still like the record. It's just not my go-to record when I'm looking to listen to some Molly Hatchet. They did release a single for Stone in Your Heart as well. Here's the picture of the single for that. And if I'm not mistaken, they went from being a 3-guitar band to a 2-guitar band on this record. And for the tour for this record, brought on keyboard player John Galvin, who is right there. And John Galvin, like I said, was part of the Danny Joe Brown band, and would be in the band from this point on. To this day, he's still in the band. This is a gatefold double record. Features songs from all 6 albums for it. Great live record. I have a CD pressing of this too. I hated when they were releasing double live records. They tried to cram onto a single CD, and that's what they did in the 80s and 90s with this album and a bunch of others. They cut songs off. 2 songs, I believe. So definitely worth getting the vinyl on this one. It sounds better and it has the full set. Molly Hatchet, Double Trouble Live, 1985, I believe that was. And that was followed up by Lightning Strikes Twice. I forgot the name for a second there. 1989. And yeah, this is where Bobby Ingram would become part of the band. There's Bobby right there. And Bobby was actually part of the Danny Joe Brown band as well. And then also John Galvin. So you've got 3 of the members of Danny Joe Brown band now in Molly Hatchet. And oddly enough, founding members are gone now. The two founding members, Steve Holland and Dave Flubeck, are both out of the band at this point. Again, this record, like the last one, kind of pop-oriented, outside songwriters. It's okay. The album cover is one of the best parts about this record. It's got, a few songs on it. Take Miss Lucy Home wasn't bad. Heart of My Soul wasn't bad. It also has a cover of Hide Your Heart on here, which is a Paul Stanley song from Kiss. Oddly enough, Ace Frehley recorded that song, Kiss recorded that song, and Molly Hatchet also recorded that song. And as much as I love Molly Hatchet, Ace Frehley wins that one. He recorded the best version of that song. Still cool to have, cool to hear, especially if you're a Kiss fan. 1989, Lightning Strikes Twice, Molly Hatchet. After that, they recorded an album which I don't have on vinyl. I'm pretty sure it is available, I just don't have it. If anybody does have a copy or know where I can get one, let me know. Obviously, Molly Hatchet are one of my favorite bands, but Molly Hatchet's greatest hits. This one is worth picking up the deluxe version because not only does it have extra songs on it, it actually has way better sound. The original CD was kind of weak sounding. This one is far better. I'm not sure if it's the mix or the mastering, a little bit of both, but it also has a nice booklet inside of it, some great artwork, lots of photos. Worth picking up, especially if you're not, if you don't know who Molly Hatchet is. This is a good introduction to the band. Contains a little bit of songs from all the old albums, and it has two new songs written by Bobby Ingram, who would become basically the leader of Molly Hatchet from this point on. Let's see if I can remember the name of those two songs. I can't remember them. Top of my head. Oh, Ragtop Deluxe and Shake the House Down. Oh, again, with those two songs, Ingram returns the band to a more metal edge. If you read Spectre's Guide to Heavy Metal by Martin Popoff, he talks about how those two songs kind of have a pop metal edge, and maybe, I don't know. It just brings the band back to the heavier edge that they had on their earlier albums, and I like those two songs a lot. I love this Greatest Hits album. Not a big fan of Greatest Hits album, but this is a good one. And after that, the band kind of didn't do a whole lot for 5 or 6 years, other than play some shows. From what I understand, Danny Joe Brown was very sick, was having a hard time. Bobby Ingram was still pushing the band, still writing songs, and they ended up recording an album called Devil's Canyon.
Thank you very much.
However, despite still being a member of the band, Danny Joe Brown didn't sing on the record. His picture was still pictured. I remember buying the CD as a new release. It wasn't released on vinyl at first. Excuse me, allergies. It was only released on CD. And Danny Joe Brown was pictured in the CD, but he didn't sing on it. I thought that was really odd. Never did understand the whole story. Phil McCormick was hand-picked. Phil McCormick right here. Was hand-picked by Danny Joe Brown to take over vocals for him. And he's got a very similar quality to his voice, that masculine good old boy sound. But he also has his own sound. So he sings the old songs great, but he also has his own sound for the new material. And Devil's Canyon, great record. This picks up where they left off before all that pop stuff they were trying to do. Heavy, probably even heavier than some of the early material. Great songs. If you want to check it out, look up The Journey on YouTube and play that song. It'll blow your mind. It's an awesome song. Heavy hard rock, dual guitar solos, extended guitar solos. Great record. This happens to be a German pressing. This album was only released in Germany on SPV and has a gatefold, 2-album set, 180 gram vinyl. All these records from now on are kind of expensive imports. They were only released on CD in the US, and they were all released in. Sorry I keep touching my nose. Allergy season. That album was followed up by an album that I'm actually going to be showing you in my next update, because I finally got this on vinyl for a good price. This album sells for $50-$60 on eBay, which is just ridiculous. I got this one for $17.95 with free shipping. Solid Rain of Heroes, 1998. The follow-up to Devil's Canyon. At this point, Danny Joe Brown was out of the band, wasn't even pictured. But you still have John Galvin and Bobby Ingram. like I said, integral part of the band. They are the band now. Again, another 2-record set, another awesome Warrior cover, another great record. Has a 2-album set, picture sleeves. Custom center rings. Again, released on SPV in Germany only. I'm not sure why, you know, American Southern rock band stuff is only released in Germany on vinyl. From what I understand, they have a huge following in Germany, bigger than they do in the United States right now. But this album also contains a reworking of Fall Peacemaker, which is an acoustic version, and it's really good. Not a big fan of acoustic remakes, but this one is very well done. Mississippi Moondog, Silent Rain of Heroes, Saddle Tramp, great song. Blue Thunder, great record. Silent Rain of Heroes. Worth picking up if you can find it on vinyl or CD. And that one was followed up by year 2000, Kingdom of XXI. Another SPV German import. Again, this is Bobby Ingram and John Galvin, who were the leaders of the band. Another gatefold with Bobby Ingram, front and center. Bobby became Molly Hatchet. At this point in the band, there is no original members left of Molly Hatchet. But Bobby Ingram and John Galvin right here, they kept that sound alive, that classic sound alive, recording new music and playing the old songs, keeping the old songs alive, constantly touring. I've seen them several times on these tours. They were fantastic. If you look on my my video feed, I did a Molly Hatchet story about meeting them for one of the times that I saw them live, and yeah, I'm gonna tell a story here, but look it up if you want to see it. I'll put a link down below so you can find it. Again, another classic record, has a few longer songs on here, and it has another cover of Edge of Sundown, which is a song that Bobby Ingram, John Galvin wrote in Danny Joe Brown Band. Again, acoustic version, really good version of it. Okay, after that, there's a string of stuff released. I'm just going to show these real quick. Molly Hatchet Greatest Hits Live, which is a live radio show with Jimmy Farrar on vocals. Good stuff. Live at the Agora Ballroom. Early Danny Joe Brown's release. This one was released on CD, on vinyl. A friend of mine has it. I don't. I'd love to have it if anybody knows where I can get it from. It's one of the few I'm missing from my collection, obviously. Great record. You're listening to it right now. You've been listening to it the whole time I've been yakking. And then Locked and Loaded Live. This is the more recent Bobby Ingram version of the band. A double live record with a mixture of old and new. Great recording. They do a lot of the classic songs, and they do some of the best songs off the three I just showed you. Double CD. I don't believe this has ever been released on vinyl, only CD. And the 25th anniversary album. Obviously, I met the band on this tour. I was signed by the entire band. At this point, Dave Lubeck's back in the band founder. And this is an album where they re-recorded just old songs. Songs from just about every album. Actually, it was every album up to this point. They re-recorded songs, and they changed up a little bit, gave them a more modern sound. Great record. I really enjoy it. I know some people don't like this re-recording because it messes with history. I kind of like it. And probably my least favorite Molly Hatchet record. This is Southern Rock Masters, and it was released in 2008. This is a tribute record where they played tribute to some of their favorite bands. So, I don't know. Molly Hatchet's always done great covers. Every cover they've ever done was great. They did, Freebird, awesome. Dreams I'll Never See, awesome. They did a cover of, I'm trying to think what, Tumbling Dice by Rolling Stones, awesome. This record here, they do, I just think it's the song selection. Short Dressed Man by ZZ Top. Desperado by the Eagles. Bad to the Bone by George Thorogood. Mississippi Queen. Now, there's a version of Mississippi Queen that I have where they share the stage with Ted Nugent live. awesome. This version, it's okay. It's not bad, it's just not great. It's just an okay record. And then there's 3 live songs tacked on the end. They call them bonus live tracks. Basically what that was them trying to promote this record, Flirting with Disaster Live. And this is from 2007. This is mostly old songs, but it has a awesome version of a newer song called Rainbow Bridge on here, with a guitar solo and a little bit of Layla from Eric Clapton mixed in. Great live record, available on CD and vinyl. This one I think was pressed in the US. This is probably the only recent record you can get easily from them. Another classic record cover. Obviously they're trying to play off the old popular album like the Flirting with Disaster Live. I really enjoy this live record. My only problem with it is the crowd seems faked into me. I wish they would have just left the crowd the way it was rather than faking in some big stadium crowd. Obviously they're playing smaller stadiums. I would have rather have heard the smaller stadium crowd. But still a good live record, great sound. And we're getting to the bottom of the barrel here. But another great record. Warriors of the Rainbow Bridge. Man, I'm having a hard time remembering the year on this one. I don't know. 2005, I think. I'll put it on the thing here, on the screen here. Pretty sure it's 2005. Another classic album cover. Another great record. Again, Dave Flubeck's back in the band, so you've got John Galvin, who's been in the band forever. You've got Dave Flubeck, who was the band founder, and Bobby Ingram. Again, another German import only, unfortunately. Picture sleeves, custom labels, 180 gram vinyl. Solid record. This album has got kind of a sad tone to it, though. I believe it was for this record that Bobby Ingram's wife had passed away. So the song "Warrior of the Rainbow Bridge," I believe, is actually basically based on her crossing over and going into heaven. So it's still great. It's a great album. I highly recommend any of the more recent Molly Hatchet records. I don't think anybody who likes southern rock or hard rock or 70s heavy metal will be disappointed. And then their most recent album, 2010, this is the last studio album that they actually released, Justice. Another classic record cover, a classic Molly Hatchet record cover. Another SPV double gatefold. Should have taken these out beforehand. There's see if I can see his picture in here somewhere. Right here. So there's Dave Flubeck, bound founder right there. And then John Galvin right there. So these are the guys that have been in the band forever and ever and ever. He's the founder of the band, and of course Bobby Ingram, who basically became Molly Hatchet and just kept that southern rock sound and that and the band alive for over the decades. So another great record. Really not a song right here I wouldn't recommend. There's actually a song right here dedicated to somebody in summer, "Fly on the Wings of an Angel." I can't remember the whole story on that one, but it was basically a song to raise money for her. I think the song was originally sold, and all the money went to raise money for her. She's in the hospital or something. Can't remember the whole story on that one, sorry. But another classic record, and the last one I have from them, Justice. So yeah, that's it. My Molly Hatchet collection. A lot of records. Went through as quickly as I could. Yeah, anybody who has the early stuff, I know a lot of people in the DC do. I hope maybe you'll check out some of the newer stuff because they really are good records, worth checking out. Like I said, there's go on YouTube, look at listen to some of this stuff. I think you'll be impressed. It's great classic rock, heavy rock, southern rock, some awesome guitar work, and really good vocals. So that's it for it. Hope you enjoyed this. God bless. Stay strong. Oh, and I dedicate this shirt to Aaron, the metal theologian. Blood Good Rules.